First time we met at his dad's driveway. He went out that night to the video store. So me and my friend was down there too. So that's when we met again, the second time. I said, are you following me? He shook his head, yep. So that night we went out, had a little date, and then he asked me out. And 22 years later, well, we're here, still together.
We're the Stokes. We live in our car. She lived with me in my dad's house, moved in.
Lived there for many, many years.
Yeah, lived there for probably 13, 14 years. Well, I'm a plumber by trade. That's what I've always known. I do other things, carpentry, paint, drywall. In '97, I was coming home from work. We ended up being in a car accident. Broke both my legs, sat in a wheelchair for 6 months, went back to work, got fired because I wasn't able to stand on my legs for 10 hours a day.
And then his father unfortunately ended up passing away, and his stepmother sold a house.
Hung in there for a little while. Work slowed down in winter times. Sometimes just couldn't get a job. Not able to pay rent, can't keep the car on the road, can't eat.
And then after that, it's just been downhill. But we're trying to climb back up that hill though. Help from Admissions, we're getting it.
Sometimes they give us gas cards so I can get to my doctor's appointments, showers.
Food, service on Sundays, a nice breakfast on Sundays. I'm very thankful that we did find Admissions. If it wasn't for Admissions and the people there that are willing to help and support you, it'd be rough. I mean, it's rough now, but it'd be rougher. We had a bear since he was 5 weeks old, ever since he was a little puppy. He goes everywhere with us. He's definitely the rock of the family. He don't like it when we argue or like when we fight. He'll come up like in between us and like pout, like, hey, you guys ain't supposed to be fighting. Why are you guys fighting?
You know, we get sad, he knows we're sad.
Put his paw on your arm like trying to tell you it's gonna be okay. He a good boy.
Our fur baby.
Yep, that's our fur baby. Unfortunately, I can't have children, so we have fur baby.
We come here to Walmart at night. It's a safe place to sleep. It's lit up, 24-hour bathroom. Sometimes the police, they come by and check on you. In the wintertime, they more check on you, make sure you're warm enough.
Yeah, make sure you're warm and whatnot in the winter.
I have some screens that I set up on the sides so we can have fresh air and no mosquitoes. This is it.
This is it.
Home sweet home.
The first few months, translation in the car, it was totally different because you went from living in a nice apartment with, you know, now you're living in your vehicle.
Having a TV, shower, couch.
Yeah, having all of that, and now
Going to a separate bedroom. Now we're in this little car and it's bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, all in one.
like he sleeps over here and I'll sleep over here. You know, we can't like snuggle. People who actually like have everything, their house and everything, and they don't even want to spend time with each other. Half of them are even sleeping in separate rooms, you know? With us two, this is all we got. He's the one that keeps me strong. If it wasn't for him and this would have happened, I wouldn't know where I'll be. He's everything to me. Him and Bear.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Myers, and I am the Executive Director of the Mission. From the bottom of my heart and all of our staff and our board members and our hundreds of volunteers, I would like to thank you for attending this evening's event.
There's so many people that come to the mission that just need counseling. They just want someone to listen to them and to see if maybe we can help. We're just trying our best to help one person at a time that comes into the mission. And in the sense of last year to this year, we've just seen a major increase of the desperation of people in need. Sometimes 60 to 70 families a month come in here to get food from our food pantry. The sign-ins have totally increased at the mission. The people that have come to us for help that live in their cars have over doubled. Another thing that has increased is we've seen more people in the woods.
This one right here has a special part in my heart because Phil, he was an alcoholic, and I would come out here every week to try to help him. And
about 2 or 3 times a week I go out to the woods. Sometimes I go a little more, determine on how many people are out there. It varies sometimes. Sometimes people find homes, sometimes they don't. You know, living in the woods is not fun. You know, these people want to have a place. They want to have a family. They want to have a home. But they can't do that until they get over their stronghold, their addiction.
Opioid addiction is just the most insidious, terrible, life-destroying, family-destroying problem.
The opium problem, it's really out of control, and we can see it by those that are walking through our doors.
It happens to everyone, and it will destroy anyone, any family. It's everywhere. And it's absolutely vital that we have places like the Mission that are out there serving people, because when someone walks in the door, they're not getting judged, they're getting help, they're getting some love, and maybe they'll get some access to treatment. An addict has a better opportunity walking in the door here of getting help, and getting help that's going to actually fix the problem, than a lot of other places.
There's several people that just recently we've had go into Anchor and actually get help.
This month alone, we actually had 2 of the clients that we were helping, the ones that we love so much, graduate from rehab. It's wonderful when they come back and they feel good about themselves, and they're ready to go forward in their lives, and the Mission is definitely here to support them.
And he'd be so exhausted that he would barely speak to me. Finally, I came out here the last time, and I'm telling you, it smelled like death out here. He looked like death. His skin was just that pale, nasty color. And he said that, John, if you didn't come out here, I would have died. And so I picked him up, and we brought him over to the Mission and got him cleaned up. Finally, he went to go get help. We took him to the hospital, and then the hospital brought him to Anchor. And so right now he's seeking help. So I ask for your prayers and support to help Phil and help others like Phil.
I think the Mission actually exemplifies what's best in our community and in our nation, which is individuals who stand up, they see a problem, and they're not just going to sit around and wait for someone else to go solve it. It's absolutely essential that private nonprofits like the Mission lean in and help. A group like the Mission can wake up today and say, there is a new problem and we're going to address it. You know, government, while we're out and we're trying to help, is that we simply are not that fast on our foot. Because we do things on a grand scale, countywide, statewide, nationwide. But we're constrained in many ways by the law in that it has to be a non-religious approach. Private nonprofit doesn't have that restriction, and bringing that faith-based activity into the charitable actions is vastly more effective. And they're going to be able to go in and help niches that government simply can't address because we're restrained by the law.
One of the biggest goals we set out for 2017 was that we would become better partners with many of the organizations that were already here and already established. A good example of one of those organizations is the WARM program. It consists of typically 22 to 24 churches, and during the wintertime, those churches then each week take on 25 to 30 homeless folks. They serve them dinner, breakfast in the morning, they have a place to sleep at night, and then they bus them to Three Oaks Center, where then the mission takes over, in which then we bus them to the mission where they can take showers and again get food. This was the first year that the percentage of men versus women were almost the same. And usually it's so much more weighted toward the men. And so this year, that was a statistic that really shocked me. The WARM program has 25 to 30 beds each night. What happens when 119 people show up? Those numbers would cause 70 people to end up sleeping in the woods in the wintertime. And I just feel that that's just completely unacceptable. Some people in this room tonight know that we plan on rehabbing that 34,000 square foot building, and it takes funds to do that. We want to offer a Christian alternative to social services.
I am really excited about the vision that the mission has for the new center. It's extraordinary. It is expansive in ways that I personally could never have imagined. And everyone wants to get out there and wants to help. But to have a vision like the mission has got with the new building is just extraordinary. When someone comes in here asking for help, they're really approached on a personal basis. And the opportunity that is presented with this new building to help so many more people on an individual and personal basis, when they walk in there, they're going to be greeted, they're going to be loved, and they're going to be helped, and they're going to feel it in their bones. And that's something that is going to make such an enormous difference to the community. It's really exciting. The county has recognized the mission and its effectiveness in working with people who need help with the budget. So the county is now requiring folks who get help from the county to come to the mission to take the mission's budget class. This is a great example of how government can use nonprofits to extend itself and magnify its goals and its impacts.
To us, that is what the definition of community involvement is. Our partnership with the WARM and our partnership with the social services are very important to us, and we're very proud of them.
Basically, the building is about 34,000 square feet. It's been kind of beat up a little bit over the years. The place has been vacant for a long, long time. Anyways, I want to give everybody kind of an idea of the building, but it's basically just offices and offices. We use a lot of the rooms for basically clothing right now. You can see we have children, men, women. The building is going to be divided into two sections. You're going to have the basic area that represents what the mission is now, which is a day room, and then you're going to have the facility, which is going to be a 12 to 14 month program. This is the area of the building that's going to represent what the mission is currently right now. Basically, this is going to be the area of the day room. So the current day room, the way we see it now, is this whole area. Up here is going to be the women's overnight. So this whole upstairs will be the women's overnight. This is going to be the men's overnight area. And then we have an apartment upstairs. So that gives you a good general idea of the building. Some areas, I haven't shown you all areas, but it's a huge building, and we cannot wait to start to rehab this building. So hopefully in 2018, that's what we see start happening.
In 2017, mid-January, we started a little service here. We are not a church, but we are a mission that has a service because we want to meet not only the physical needs, but the spiritual needs of this community. So we have a little breakfast on Sundays, and after breakfast, we have a service. And one of the key things that I've noticed within the service is that many of them are the ones that'll never go into some of the churches because they believe that they would be judged. And they're scared because a lot of them don't have the clothes that they think is necessary to be in church. And so they come here, and they come just as they are, dressed as they are. They come through this door and they know they're loved. There's no offering plate that goes around so they can put their money into it. These are people that just want to be loved. They want to feel valued. And this is what the mission provides them.
One of the things that the homeless people in our community have such a hard time doing, and that's just getting from place to place. One of our goals here at the mission is to have the transportation in certain respects so that we can take a homeless folks that walk through our door that don't have the ability to get to their job, and we can get them there. We do this several different ways. One, we give away bicycles. And I know this year we've given away more bicycles than ever before. We developed a transportation to go to Three Oaks, pick up the warm folks, and bring them here. We changed our schedule. We opened up 365 days a year, specifically to meet the transportation needs of the homeless. And the second route, which is about to start, will hit areas in the outer parts of southern Maryland and St. Mary's County. So the folks that aren't able to get here to get to services then can get here. We want to be a facilitator to obviously get them to DSS if they need to, or anywhere else.
My name's Howard Birch. I'm the director of the Mission Community Farm. This was our first year. Went well. We got a lot of produce. And we're looking forward to next year because we know that that piece of land can produce a lot of goods. One day in particular, 3 guys came out, and I had met them briefly from the mission. And that day we worked together a few hours, and we got to know each other. They were excited that they were a part of that project. They had actually put the plants in the ground. A couple months later, at the mission when the food came here, same people that helped plant the plants, they were, reaping the benefits of being able to eat the food. To have the right foundation for people to move ahead is to be in community, to encourage each other.
This year, the donors that stepped forward to offer their support to the mission have been second to none, and I'm just not sure what we would do without our supporters. From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank every single person that has given to the mission throughout 2017. I'm so excited about 2018 because I really see that we're going to be taking a huge step in accomplishing what we feel the Lord has set us out to do, and that is to offer a Christian alternative to social services in which we have a care center that will take a person who is dedicated in changing their lives and placing them in a Christian atmosphere, giving them the tools to be successful.
Most of these people need trades and skills, and that's what the Care Center and Vocational School is going to do for them. We're going to give them the skills and the steps to build off of and to be able to create a victorious life because they're providing for themselves. In the Bible it says you don't work, you don't eat. We're going to supply them how to work so that they can eat, and then they can show others to do the same. I truly believe this new building is what the people need.
The Mission Care Center represents a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a large vision that Richard and I have for those people that are living in their cars and walking the streets and living in the woods. Last year's goal was just to be able to raise enough money to gut the building, and we were able to do that. And for that, Richard and I want to earnestly thank you for that. We have a lot of the services that are going to be provided for free. Many, many, many awesome, wonderful people have stepped up and said, hey, I want to support this. This year, our desire is to raise enough money to be able to rehab the building with all the material funds that we will raise tonight. So with that, I want to thank you. And Richard and I both appreciate your sacrifice. We both thank you for helping us tonight in this endeavor.